Hey everybody, Chris the old ass retro gamer here, and you're watching Captain Algebra. Remember Kenna, suckers.
Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here. I'm here with my June and July of 2019 pickups. Haven't picked up a ton the last few months, just because of too many games and then Midwest Gaming Classic before that. So, got some stuff here over the last couple months. Let's get started. First thing I actually want to talk about was something that was sent to me by Bargain Bin Hobo. Normally I do the mail call videos for it, and I actually recorded it, but then I was deleting stuff before too many games, and I deleted it thinking it was already in Google Drive. I could have sworn it was there, and it wasn't. So, really sorry, Hobo, but he sent me Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Genesis. So I'm a huge Power Ranger fan, and I had almost all the other Mighty Morphin Power Ranger games for the consoles that I have. I obviously don't have the Sega CD games, so I don't have that console. But this was one I was missing, and so I'm going to look for the box and the manual now. But it's a fighting game. Each character has different special moves they can do. You can also fight as the Zords in certain fights. But I've really liked it so far. I mean, Power Rangers are great. I love them. So thank you so much, Hobo. I really appreciate it. And I'm so sorry that video was deleted. Next, I had a day where I just went to Goodwill, checked some stuff out, and I actually found some stuff. A couple things for the Xbox. First, Chess Master. Can never go wrong with some games of chess. Shrek. So I like licensed games, and this one's a little weird. Take a while to figure out where to go and what to do, and the controls. But yeah, you play as Shrek, and you gotta go through and you know, complete your objectives. They definitely did not use the original cast for the voices, and that's okay. Sometimes it's hard to do for the video games, but for a few bucks, figured why not. SpongeBob Lights, Camera, Pants. So it's kind of like a bunch of mini games that you play against other players. You can play it obviously by yourself or with multiplayer. Sounds like there's about 30 levels. It was okay. I definitely want to pick up Bikini Bottom. I heard that one's a pretty good SpongeBob game, but I saw it again for a few bucks. Figured why not. Then for the 360, Titanfall. Now I know this is online only, and I don't really have Xbox Live anymore, but for a couple bucks, figured why not take a chance on it. I'll probably get Xbox Live again at some point because I'm going to want to play Halo Reach again because I definitely miss doing that. So figured why not. Next, a couple NES games that my brother found and sent to me. First one, Bases Loaded 2, second season. So really the only baseball game I played on the NES growing up was RBI Baseball, and I love it. So I figured I want to try this out. It's a little strange. The view is from behind the pitcher, which I'm not used to, so I really struggled batting for a while. Then I actually looked it up in the NES guidebook from Pat Contry and found out that you can actually control your swing vertically as well, not just horizontally. So that would probably help, because I could have sworn sometimes I swung at the perfect time. But it seems like a solid baseball game. None of the teams are real or the players, but each player does have strengths and weaknesses, so that's pretty cool. Then, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the game AVGN loves to hate. And honestly, this isn't that bad. I know in his episode he talks about the bombs and try and be able to escape from them, and really it's not that bad. As soon as the guy lays the bomb, you walk in the other direction, you shouldn't get hit. Now some of the other enemies, I didn't even know they're going to hit me, so sometimes they'll just be walking and then they'll sprint at you. You have to watch out for slingshots, so that's kind of annoying. And then you eventually go into madness and you turn into Mr. Hyde and you start walking backwards. And if you get all the way back to the beginning, it's game over. Or if you lose all your health, it's game over. So you have to defeat all these little like jumping brains. Honestly, it doesn't seem as bad as what AVGN said, but it definitely is a little rough around the edges. But I definitely want to get into it a little bit more and see if I can take this game down. Next, we'll go with the Wii titles. First one you guys have seen, Muramasa the Demon Blade, which was sent to me by Die Hard Gamer Bros. And so I was looking for this at Too Many Games, couldn't find it, and he bought me a copy, which is pretty cool. It's a very fun action RPG. The art style is beautiful. I'm not really into graphics in games, but I do appreciate good graphics, and this is just beautiful. So you are going through this story And there's 2 options of which character you want to use, and then you'll randomly be involved in battles. And there's a combo system, and you can switch blades. Sometimes you have to because they break. Otherwise, you can just switch, and you can get an attack on the enemy that's pretty powerful. And yeah, you just go around. There's bosses to fight with patterns, which is nice. But yeah, it's a very, very unique game. And it's highly recommended. It's still very cheap, so if you find it, pick it up. But I highly recommend this game. Next, went to GameStop, just because my wife and I are in the mall, and they're actually doing a 2-for-1 deal. So, found some games to pick up. First one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up. So this is just a fighting game. It's kind of similar to Smash Brothers in that there's items you can pick up and stuff like that, and the controls are very similar to that, but it's basically one-on-one. But there's different modes you can fight through. There's arcade mode, and there's tournament mode, stuff like that. And there's different characters. I don't know if you can unlock characters. I'm assuming you can, but I haven't played enough to know. But you get the Turtles, you get Casey Jones, April's in it, Splinter. So far, I really like playing with Leo. I tried Splinter, and I don't know, he just seemed a little bit slower. But yeah, you think he trained the Turtles, he'd be better. But very cool game. Definitely glad to pick that one up. Then GameStop was having I don't remember what they called it, some deals, and I found a game that was used to be for $50, selling for $30, so I'm like, yep, I'll pick it up. And that is Toki, the Retro Collector Edition. So Mega Dan picked this up back when it came out in, December, January, something like that. And I really didn't want to pay $50 for it, but it looked really cool. He streamed it, I really liked it. And one of the cool things is it did come with this little arcade you can put together, and then you can actually put your Switch there and then play it like an arcade. And I thought that was really cool. I really don't play my Switch in handheld mode much, so I really won't use it, but it was just kind of cool, something cool to sit on the shelf. But it plays like the other Toki games. I don't know if it's like a remake of one of the NES or the Genesis game, or if it's just like a reimagining of it, or if it's an entirely different game. But basically, you're Toki, your girlfriend gets stolen, you get turned into a monkey, and you gotta go save her. There's different power-ups. There's bosses at the end of each stage. Really fun. It's very trial and error at times, though. You'll hit to a spot, and all these enemies will jump out at you, and sometimes you'll die, and it's one-hit deaths, which kind of sucks. But then once you go through that level, and you die a couple times, you know it pretty well. So I think it's a pretty short game, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing it a little bit more. Then another game I got with the GameStop buy 2 get 1 free, Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. This is a game I wanted for a while, but it was still high in price, so I didn't want to pick it up. And I definitely want to pick it up on the Wii U over the Switch, because the Switch games are basically the same thing. I mean, I'm sure there's some differences, but they're usually full price, $50-$60. So I wanted to find on Wii U where it was cheaper, and oh my god, I love this game. I never really got into the Dynasty Warriors games, but I figured I would try this one out just because it's Zelda, and man, these are awesome. It makes me want to play the Dynasty Warriors games. But it's pretty cool. There's got a bunch of different modes. You got like your legend mode where you're going through the main story, but there's adventure mode. You can replay the fights in the legend mode with characters that you unlock. You upgrade your weapons, stuff as you go. But really fun. You get your regular attacks, stronger attacks. You get a magic attack. And you can get different items like bombs and stuff. And it's just so much fun going through and just wiping all these bokoblins and skeletons out, 50 at a time, just with these huge sword swipes. It's very cool. I really like it so far. I've been really into the Wii U lately. I played Yoshi's Woolly World, then I played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the next game I play, because I was having so much fun recording footage that I spent way too much time, so now it's going to be tough to go through all the footage. But really enjoying it. Highly recommend this game. Now for the PS4 games. The first one was actually something I got in May, and I forgot to include it in the pickups video. I actually recorded gameplay footage and everything, but then when I recorded it, just forgot about it. And it is R-Type Dimensions EX from Strictly Limited Games. So when I saw this come out, I'm like, yep, I gotta have this. I've been really into shooters lately, and this one's fantastic. So it's really cool is you can play with the original arcade graphics, or you can play with more modern graphics, and you can switch on the fly, which is pretty cool. But it's very fun. I really like it so far. Haven't played it a ton, but like I said, I'm getting into shooters, so I definitely want to try it a little bit more. And I know Gaming Off the Grid just did a video on this, and they really like the game, and so, you can't go wrong. They usually have a pretty good taste, except for Robert. He's kind of eh. Next, some more games from the GameStop Buy 2 Get 1 Free. First one was Deception 4, Nightmare Princess. So I just picked it up because it was similar in price to some of the other games I was getting, and when you do these Buy 2 Get 1 Free, you got to get games that are similar in price, because, you buy some games, they're expensive, and then you buy a cheap game, well, the cheap game's going to be the one that's for free. So I actually separated where I bought 3 games that were, I think, $9.99 together, and I put those separate, and then I bought some more games that were like in the 20s, 15 to 20, and put them together so I get the best deal possible. But this is kind of interesting. You basically play as this princess, and you have to go into people's nightmares or dreams and like give them nightmares. And so you set traps, like a bear trap, and then you can hit them with an axe. Basically, you have to like kill them and really scare them in their dreams. And it's pretty crazy the different things you can do. It's kind of like a puzzle game, and you go through different scenarios depending on who you pick, because you do have 2 options. And yeah, it's an interesting game. I hadn't played these Deception games before. I'd say definitely check it out if you're into like those puzzle type things. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Another game, Raiden 5. So saw this and I was like, man, that game sounds familiar. And plus it's a shooter, so I picked it up, and yeah, this is awesome. It's it's a bullet hell. What's really cool is you get different ships you can choose from, and their armor, their attack is all different. But then once you pick that, you can pick which weapons you want. There's a spread shot, there's like a homing laser, and then there's a strong, just laser that shoots straight ahead of you, but it's obviously stronger than the other weapons. And then as you go, you can change a power up you have depending on what color power up you pick up. And then if you pick up the same color over and over again, you change the power of that specific attack. It's really fun. This is another game that I had a really hard time putting down when I was capturing footage. I really like it. And then I was actually going back and watching all Gaming Off the Grid's videos, and they actually did a review of this, is it worth it type video. Or it was actually in their 5 PlayStation games you might not have heard of that you need to play. And I really glad I picked it up. It's really good. Another game picked up for the Buy 2 Get 1, Call of Cthulhu. So this is kind of like a walking simulator type, but you play as Edward Pierce, I believe, and he's a private investigator that's kind of running out of money and stuff. So he accepts this really weird job of this tragic death of the Hawkins family on this isolated island, and you have to go there and kind of talk to people, find clues, and kind of piece everything together. But it's kind of, it's in H.P. Lovecraft's universe, and I've heard it's pretty good, and I've liked it so far. It's a little slow, but sometimes you gotta take a break from those action-packed games and kind of go with something a little slower. And yeah, it's really cool. I like it so far. There's different endings depending on what happens, so definitely look forward to playing through that one. Another Buy 2 Get 1 Free, Prey. So this is a game I'd always heard really good things about, and it always looked really interesting to me. And basically, it's a first-person like shooter type thing, but it's got RPG elements where you have to pick different things up, and you can craft things and stuff like that. And then you can get these neuropods, which changes the abilities that you have. I think there's 3 choices, like one of them scientist, engineer, and then there's one other. But basically, you can upgrade yourself depending on what you like. You can get more health, you can get the ability to repair things, and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool so far. I'm not really far into it, but definitely looks like a game that I would enjoy playing. And then the last one for the Buy 2 Get 1 Free, Titanfall 2. So I picked up Titanfall, had to pick up the second one. I really was interested in this one because it actually has a single-player campaign. You don't have to play online. And I really like this. It's a fun first-person shooter. So obviously you got your part where you're outside of the Titan and play as the pilot and go around shooting people, get different weapons and stuff like that. But then you can get into the Titan, and that's pretty fun. You get different weapons and stuff, and you get to fight other Titans. I really like in the pilot mode where you're running around, not in the Titan, and you can run across walls, double jumps, all sorts of stuff. You can pull off some pretty slick moves. And yeah, it's just a really fun first-person shooter that I highly suggest. Next one was another one for Strictly Limited, Raging Justice. So I love my beat-em-ups, and so when I saw that this was getting a physical release from Strictly Limited, I had to pick it up, and it's pretty fun. You can play 1 to 3 player co-op. It's very reminiscent of old beat 'em ups. What's kind of cool though, it does have different challenges for each level, so it's got replayability. But you also have the ability to certain people either need to be you can be good cop or bad cop, where you can either arrest them or you can kill them and become the bad cop. So that's pretty cool. So you get different bonuses for depending on what you do, and it all depends what the challenges are for the stages. Another game, the Gaming Off the Grid, did a video about recently, and they kind of felt the same way about it. You know, it's fun for a while, but then it gets a little stale. I wish they could have done more with it, but it's a solid game, and if you can find it, I know Strictly Limited doesn't have it anymore, but on eBay, if it's still cheap, definitely pick it up. Or, you know, if you want, buy digital. But it's a fun game. Next game I really wanted, couldn't wait for it to come physical, Hollow Knight. And this game is excellent. It's Metroidvania style. You play as this little knight with your little your nail, and you go around trying to go through this ruined kingdom and destroy insects. And sometimes there's these big insects you have to fight. There's different collectibles you can get. But yeah, it's pretty fun. At first I was kind of confused because you can get a map, but you can never know where you were. But then I found out there's a charm you can buy that allows you to show where you are on the map. It's like, okay, that makes it better. But yeah, really fun so far. Definitely suggest picking that up. And last one of the games that everyone was talking about over the last couple months, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So it's very similar to your Symphony of the Night on the PS1, and it's the game is the reason that we got Curse of the Moon. You know, that was kind of like a side game people wanted if the Kickstarter got high enough. And you play as Miriam, and you go around and you try and save humanity and herself. And you know, it plays just like Symphony of the Night. You get different weapons. It's got the RPG elements where you can put different things on, and you can change your stats, as well as doing certain moves. Certain controller inputs does special moves depending on the weapon you have. And yeah, it's pretty fun. You get special attacks and magic powers, and it's got big boss fights. There's secrets to find. It was really cool. I found a secret wall that you could crush, and in behind it was an 8-bit coin, you know, kind of calling back to the old days of Castlevania on the NES. So that was pretty cool. Very excited to play more into it. It's very, very fun, and if you haven't picked it up, I definitely suggest you do. So there you go. Those are my pickups for the month of June and July. A lot of fun games. I was capturing footage for most of these. I just want to keep playing them, so it's going to be very hard to determine, you know, what game I want to go with next. But hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think about some of these games. If you played them, if you haven't, if you want to know more about them, just let me know. But thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.